Hi, I'm Liz Martineau, Board Certified Behavior Analyst and President and Clinical Director of Nashoba Learning Group. Thanks for taking the next few minutes to watch our tips for parents and practitioners. As always, we'd love to hear your suggestions and comments. And now, on with the show.
Hi, my name is Maureen Lacerte. I'm a clinical director here at Nashoba Learning Group, and I'm here to share a tip with you that we found to be very helpful for a family who is quite challenged with a child who is having difficulty understanding their parents' work-related travel schedule. So in this case, it was actually Dad who did the traveling and Mom was home. And each time Dad was home, he was available to his children. He'd be in the morning, he'd have breakfast with his children. He often joined them for evening activities. And on the weekends, he was available for afternoon activities, all of which they clearly loved. When they would wake up in the morning when Dad was traveling, they would get up in the morning, go into the room to look for Dad, not find him, begin to search through the house. And when they eventually did sit down to breakfast in the morning without Dad present, more often than not, it became a problem. For this particular family, the behaviors that were displayed were related to anxiety and included crying, tantruming, perhaps throwing things, and oftentimes aggression. In the evening, this routine often repeated itself, so obviously this became quite problematic. So we decided we needed some kind of a visual representation to help these children understand Dad's work-related travel schedule. How would we do that? So with Mom's help, we created a calendar that would best signal that. And as you can see, the only thing on there are dates. At the time, this child did not yet understand how a calendar actually worked. They didn't understand days of the week, a month, or yesterday, today, tomorrow. They didn't have any knowledge of that. So it really just served as a visual countdown. And what she did was each day that Dad would be traveling, she put a picture of a plane on there to represent each day he would be gone. And the day that they would have access to him or see him was represented with a picture of Dad. What she made sure she did was at the end of every day, at the end of their evening routine as they would go to bed, if Dad, the day was gone, she would take the airplane off, signaling the end of that day. They would go to bed, and she'd remind them, tomorrow, Dad's not here. They'd get up in the morning, and they'd still see the airplane knowing Dad was not available. Over time, they really grew to understand this and actually stopped looking for Dad in the morning and would come down right to the kitchen where this was hung and look at the calendar and immediately know Dad would not be available. So it worked beautifully for this family and this child. One little caveat, what we had to talk about was, what do you do if Dad's flying in late in the evening or he'll be home maybe 8 or 9 o'clock at night, but your child's already asleep? You leave a plane on there to represent that day because Dad is not available to that child. And really what that picture is to signal is that Dad will be there to be with them. The same would be true for if the father were flying home. If Dad was flying home in the middle of the afternoon the next day, when they got up in the morning, that airplane was still represented on there. When they would leave for school, Mom would replace it with a picture of Dad so that they knew when they walked in the door, if they looked at that, Dad was now home. He was now available, and they could seek him out in the home. So this was really helpful for this family, and you can tweak it any way that would work for you. And I hope this was helpful. Thank you.